Hello, guys, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of your favorite podcast, lovealadijonnaise. Third season, guys. We are again super happy for being here once again. This is the second episode. Baby, how are you? Welcome.
Hello, guys. Welcome back to our second episode of the third season. Yay, we are all excited. I'm very good. How are you, my love?
I'm very fine, thank you so much. By now, I already got completely fine from COVID, so this is perfect. Of course, I'm still coughing a bit, so I'm so sorry if you hear me coughing. But anyway, it's gonna get better, you know that.
It's normal. It's normal. Like we can just pretend that it doesn't exist. We all do it. We all cough.
Yeah, of course, we all cough. But yeah, well, thank you so much, guys, for being here and for being listening to the second episode. Today, we're gonna talk about kind of motivational.
It's a motivational topic.
More or less motivational topic, but we're gonna come up with ideas and suggestions and tips about this that we both consider that is very important that we have, and that especially, and you're gonna see why we say this, especially nowadays, it's very hard to get.
Yeah, because we live in a world where our lives are super busy all day long. Even in the nighttime when you lay down and you think you're chill in silence and everything, you're not. Yes, you might be kind of chill, but if you put yourself to think and you listen your surroundings, you're gonna always hear a noise. You're gonna always hear your neighbor, someone outside, whatever. Even, I don't know, you might get a message on your phone and it sounds, so you're never in silence and you're not really ever like super chill by yourself with your own thoughts.
Yeah. And well, basically, as you can imagine now for what Sam mentioned, today we're going to talk about the importance of being in silence, but meaning that the importance of being in that silence that you need in order to listen to yourself and to actually think about yourself, which is something that we almost never have because we are too busy to give time for that. To that. And also at the same time, that is one of the things that we actually should take the time and to stop doing whatever we're doing, because I will even dare to say that this is even more important than work on other things.
Yeah, it's like recharging your own batteries, listening to yourself, or I don't know, if you're praying, you're listening to God, maybe He gives you an answer to something, so that's very important.
Definitely. And with this, we want to begin with a tiny story about a couple of days ago that we were in Bled, that we went hiking. Before I got COVID, of course.
Before that.
Yeah, before that. So we went hiking. Well, first of all, we went to Bled, and because we love Bled,
Yeah, it's a very pretty place in Slovenia.
Yeah, and there was, there is a tiny hill that she told me that we could go, like a tiny hiking thing. And I told her, of course, like, let's go. And there's this moment on the way up to the hill, as you can imagine, of course, it's winter time, imagine all the leaves on the ground, and it's a very rocky hill, so usually you're stepping and there's a lot of noise, because of course the leaves are cracking and you're moving rocks, so rocks, they're falling
and hitting like the other rocks, and it's like noisy.
Yeah, so it's kind of noisy, but of course, of course, not a lot. But the thing is, like, we were the only ones at some point, because later a couple of people came and stuff.
Later, because we went in the more or less morning, and we were still alone, and by the time we were going down, it was kind of afternoon, and then people started coming.
Yeah, people started coming. But the thing is, like, there was a moment that I stopped because my jeans, they were coming out of my boots, and that was kind of annoying to me and stuff. And I left Sam to continue walking for a bit more, and she got far away enough for me stop hearing her steps, on the rocks and the leaves and stuff. And guys, for literally a couple of seconds I stood in silence and I heard nothing, okay? But I meaning, like, literally, not that I didn't hear anything. In reality, I heard actually silence. Why? Not even animals were making noises. There were no birds that they were, tweeting, yeah,
Yeah, that's how you
tweeting
say
and
tweeting.
stuff. And I mean, of course, like I could realize that there were animals out there because I could hear, like branches cracking and stuff.
Yeah, there were some animals, but not as usual, because if you think
Yeah.
about in winter, animals here they sleep.
Yes, of course. And also, if you have in mind that we were literally in the hill, in the
Mhm.
middle of the forest, of course you can expect other noises. But the thing is, like, we were far away already from the street. I was far away enough from Sam so I couldn't even hear her steps. And it was the silence, and in reality, the silence and the sound of nature. There was not even wind. No wind, no nothing. It was pure silence. And then I came up fast to her and I was like, Shh, be quiet. And then we were listening. And it was actually very nice. But what made me think, and actually that's the main topic of this episode, is like, I think last time I got a moment like that was maybe when I was like 6 years old or something like, no, not six, I'm sorry, when I was like 11 years old, that I went on a camping with my school.
In your school.
But that was the last time, and this is the last time I heard it. And it's just, how is it possible that in more than 10 years I had experienced only twice this experience of listening to the silence?
To be honest, with me it's the same. I don't remember when was the last time I listened to that silence, and I have woods literally like, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes away from my house, and I could do that. I could go and just enjoy and be quiet by myself, but I never do it. And I think the answer is because we're so busy, we never think about it. I don't think we're that cautious that actually we need to do it in order to, as we said in the beginning of the episode, recharge our batteries and just spend time with ourselves.
Yeah, and actually, that made me remember a lot, which is very true what you're saying. And even I consider here in Europe, I'm gonna say what I was remembering. Just let me because if I'm gonna forget this. In Europe, you even have more silence than in Mexico. In Mexico,
definitely.
everything is so chaotic. The whole freaking time, everything's so chaotic that not even in the night you are chill. Why? Because in the night, if you're not hearing to the trailers passing, or an idiot showing off with their stupid cars, or someone screaming in the street, or gunshots, or these type of things, you don't have even peace in the night. Why? Because there was a door being slammed by someone in the middle of the night, dogs started barking.
Oh yeah, that's very true.
Cats fighting, or stupid things. But in Mexico, everything is so chaotic, so messed up with this.
Never silence.
There's not even being in the countryside, you can be chill and stuff.
No, because then you have also people in the countryside in Mexico having parties, which is fine. I mean, enjoy. But at the end of the day, they put the music so loud that you cannot just enjoy, because the purpose is going out from the city where it's chaotic. But at the end of the day, the countryside is basically the same.
It's terrible. And I consider Europe being more quiet, more chill. But still, I mean, of course, it's sometimes in the night we are laying down and we can hear someone showing off, or we hear the train, for example.
And we hear, for example, because I live in a building, my neighbors, when they go to pee, literally you can hear them because the walls are so thin.
Of course.
And I don't know, if a car comes here late in the night to park, obviously you can hear it. So technically you're never in silence.
You're never in silence. And well, what I mentioned this is because it made me remember. Now, because of my job, I've been in interviews with organizations, these NGOs, and there is a really cool NGO that I was in touch with. Well, I've been in touch, but the first time I talked to them was I think 2 months ago. And they have a really cool project, which is like about mental awareness and this type of things through meditation. And through meditation, you can get this mental awareness and be fine. Anyway, they have it's not a belief, actually. It's a pure psychological thing that there is this synchronicity in our brain with the sounds and where we live. And because of this thing, we live in a frequency, as they call it. And for example, when I was talking to them they told me that Mexicans usually the frequency, I'm sorry,
Frequency.
that we live with, it's very messed up for a human being. Why? Because it's a frequency of anxiety, and that they were telling me that sadly, in Mexico, it's almost impossible to find places that you can be in another frequency, which is more
Wow.
chill. Why? Because for that you need to go to top of mountains or go to very tiny towns where nothing actually happens.
Or like very deep in the woods.
Literally, but that is actually very, very hard to do it. And they were explaining me how there are studies of this, not even a theory, it's already proved.
Proved.
Yeah, in Europe or Canada, or not even the US, but Europe, Canada, Australia, and other countries, that people, they live in another frequency. Why? Because they're not rushing the whole time, and there's not a lot of noise. And because of this noise, we humans, I mean, for example, me, I get used to that. So whenever I'm in another environment, my body actually physically changes because of that.
Now I agree with you, that you said your body physically changes, and I suppose also your mental health changes. I mean, mentally, not mental health, but mentally also change, not only your body. Because it's true what you're saying. Mexico is super chaotic, and whenever I'm there, I just feel, because of all the noise, I get anxious. I get like annoyed. I'm like, is that really necessary? Is this noise necessary? Because from my point of view, I never hear like a lady passing by and selling something and screaming pitayas. Is that necessary? That is not, and they don't even give you your afternoon peace that you want to nap. I'm a big person on napping. I love napping. I just cannot nap in Mexico. It's impossible. And I get anxious, And when I'm here, I just, yes, we also live, I mean, not chaotic, but fast, and we have our noises and stuff, but it's just more quiet. And I'm like mentally chilled, and I need my peace and my, how you say, my silence. Although that you said it's also not like 100%, because when we were in the woods in Bled, we just stood there and nothing. Like nothing.
Literally, when I heard that silence, I was like, I want to come back here, not to hike. I want to come back here,
to enjoy.
Literally to enjoy, to sit on a rock, maybe, and just
not really sit on the rock. It's winter. It's
it's winter, but that was my thought. I want to come back here, but literally to stay quiet and enjoy from this, because it's something I know in Mexico I won't have. Wherever I go, I won't have it.
I agree.
Because also I can go to the mountains, but it was just that specific moment that not even wind. Because also I can be somewhere, but I can be hearing the wind and stuff, which is actually very nice for me. It's very relaxing.
It is very relaxing.
But actually being somewhere that not even the wind is like, I won't have it. So I don't know, it's actually interesting. And also now that you're mentioning this thing about the girls selling pitayas and those type of things, those ones I can understand. Yes, they're very annoying, and I agree.
I know they're selling because they need money.
Because they need the money. Because not most part of the times, the whole time, those people that they are in the street screaming because they're selling stuff are people that they need the money because they don't have a job. Yes.
Yeah, I understand that.
But stuff like the trash bus, that one.
For example, okay,
that one
let's
is like,
take the example of trash bus. Okay, not pitayas and selling stuff, because I understand majority of Mexican population is poor and they really need the money. I accept it's a bad example, but trash bus people, my lovely people who are listening to this, if you live in a first world country or you're not from Mexico, whatever, wherever you live, I don't know. Anyways, in Europe, trash bus comes, you just hear when it throws the trash in the bus from the bin, or trash cans for you Americans, goes. That's it. You only hear if it goes reverse, the beep 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 thing, but because it's a trash bus and all those trash buses have the beep beep thing. In Mexico,
they have a bell.
They have a bell. For what? I don't know.
Nothing.
For nothing. Because everyone knows, for example, in Guadalajara, in the area where my boyfriend lives, it comes Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday morning from like what? 7:30, 8
8 a.m.
a.m. Everyone knows. They take their trash bus comes, picks up, goes. No, it's not like that. They start with their bells, they ring. It's like, are you kidding me? I can't even have my normal morning.
And the problem is there's not even explanation.
No explanation.
Once I went literally on internet to look for an explanation why in Mexico, because not only my city, it's everywhere in the country. I couldn't find. I literally found forums where people, they were saying, Mexican people, they were like, no one knows. You know, like, I have no idea if it's because of back then that maybe I put myself to think, maybe, well, before no one actually had idea of when the
trash,
well, not even trash was like the trash people that were coming on the streets when it was even with horses and stuff, and
maybe that's why.
Maybe they had a bell to tell people, hey, we're passing to pick up the trash. Okay, back then maybe, okay, it was very useful. But now that it's literally scheduled and everyone knows when the trash is coming, why the hell are you gonna come to wake everyone up? Like, that's it.
You can't even have a peaceful morning. And once I remember us complaining about that. I don't know where you were. I don't know, brushing teeth or something. But I remember I was with your parents, and then I was complaining in English. Your mom translated to your dad, and your dad was like all chill. Oh, because of tradition. I was like, fine, tradition, but not that type of tradition. Yeah. It's just pointless. You don't need it. No one needs it. It annoys everyone. It's just like, why? Unnecessary noise. Why?
No, I know. I mean, as we said, Mexico is very chaotic with all that pollution, because at the end of the day, it's
noise pollution.
It's noise pollution.
Yeah.
And it's very chaotic. So, basically, what we want to tell you with this is, like, it's very important that you find your moments to be in silence and to actually listening to the silence, because the silence has a sound. And the sound that it has is very peaceful.
And you can find yourself again and like recharge. What I would suggest you, I think we all should do it and actually find the time, as you said, but at least once a week. I don't know if you want in the beginning of the week, middle of the week, at the end of the week, just go somewhere far away from everything and be there by yourself. Put your phone on mute. Don't look at your phone. If you want to take notes of your observings or something, also it's very good. You can do it and just sit, observe, enjoy. It can be a woods, can be at the seaside that is not very close to touristic places or people, and just be there with yourself. Listen to yourself. If you want to pray, listen to God. Do whatever you want.
Yeah.
But just stop. And that's it.
Yeah, and what we are telling you, this is more important than work. This is more important than anything. Of course, there are priorities and stuff, but they're not gonna fire you just for stopping 5 minutes to be chill and be in silence, you know? Even more now that a lot of people, we're working on, home office.
It's even more important going out of the house.
Yes, it's more important going out of the house. This is actually more important than work, to have at least 5 times, 5 minutes,
5-10
per
minutes.
day. Yeah.
Or if you want to, take a look from this perspective, if you are 5 or 10 minutes on your phone doing whatever you want, whatever you're doing, and this thing is not really, you're not having any benefit from it, from being on your phone just to lose 5 or 10 minutes, just go somewhere and take those 5 and 10 minutes in silence, observe, listen, be with yourself, and those type of things.
Yeah.
I'd rather change that. And believe me, I think you're gonna feel way better after that.
No, you're gonna feel way better, definitely, because as we said already, the sound of silence is very helpful and peaceful. So something it's gonna come out from there, and you're gonna realize that mentally and physically you're gonna feel recharged.
Very different, believe me.
Yeah, and well, if you have the luck of if you're lucky enough of being living in a country that actually silence exists, because you live in a small town, because you live in a small country or whatever, then be happy and actually do something with that silence you can get, because most part of population don't
doesn't
have that
have that.
opportunity. Yeah.
Yeah, and appreciate the silence, because I'm from the small country. I consider we're very silent I mean, right now still we can hear the traffic passing across the street because it's the main road, but we have silence in comparison to those New York, LA, whatever, Mexico City. Imagine those people.
Yeah.
And I know that people from small countries usually say, oh, the big city life, but to be honest, it sucks.
Yeah.
It's not like, just appreciate your silence, please.
Yeah, not even clear air you're breathing.
Exactly.
Yeah, so yeah, have the opportunity, guys, like seriously, to appreciate all that. And if you don't have the opportunity, because for example, like me, you live in a chaotic country, try to find those spaces
and spots and
Yeah,
spaces, and take your 5-10 minutes, because you're gonna feel different.
Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Seriously, we just wanted to give this tiny message, advice, and also talk about this very important topic that is very good for mental and physical health.
Yes, and I hope you took notes. I hope you start doing it, that you go somewhere and have your peaceful moment. But that was it. We hope you enjoyed the episode. And as we always say, before that, share, and share the podcast. Also, you can find us on every social media and podcast platform at lovealadijonnaise.
Yeah.
And as we say, we'll be back next week with another episode.
Exactly, guys. We wish you the very best and see you very soon.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.